Hello aspirants, welcome to ARK Reflections IAS. You must have heard about the Russian fuel ban, right? If you've checked your phone in the last 48 hours, you've probably seen the headlines. Russia bans petrol exports, global fuel crisis begins, so on and so forth. Naturally, the panic must have started. People must have started panicking. But people are also worried that the petrol pumps are going to run dry and that the prices are going to hit the roof once again. Some are even comparing it to the 1970s oil crisis. But here is the tip. Don't join the queue at the petrol bunk right now. You don't have to be one amongst these people, okay? Because I'm going to clearly explain what Russia is doing and why they are doing what they are doing, and most importantly, why India is in a much better position than what we are being told in the media, okay? First of all, let us think about this. Let us cut the jargon at first. Russia is banning the export of gasoline, okay, what we call as petrol, but they are not banning the crude oil. This is a massive distinction. Think about it like this, okay? We have milk and we have butter also. Think of Russia like a giant dairy farm. They produce the milk, that is the crude oil, and they also make butter, that is the refined petrol. What they have said is, we are going to keep the butter for ourselves for the next few months, but we are still going to sell the milk, that is the crude oil. So how does it matter for India? Because India doesn't buy the butter from Russia, we buy the milk, that is the crude oil. We have the most sophisticated refineries at Jamnagar, okay? We buy Russian crude, we refine it ourselves, we turn it into petrol. In fact, we are so good at it that we actually sell the refined petrol back to Europe. So why is Vladimir Putin doing this? Think about it. The Ukraine is bombing Russia right now through its drones, and Ukraine has been hitting Russian oil refineries with these drones. They have knocked out nearly 15% of Russia's refining capacity. Think about that. When your own factory is under fire and you have to prioritize your own citizens, what is it that you'll do? That is one question. Secondly, it is springtime in Russia right now. In Russia, this is peak farming season. If farmers don't get cheap fuel for their tractors, food prices are going to go up. Putin is essentially saying that I need to keep my farmers happy and the domestic prices low. It is a move of domestic desperation, not necessarily about global aggression. That is one thing. Secondly, now let's address the elephant in the room. Okay, you must have heard about reports claiming that India only has about 5 days of fuel supply left. This is classic case of misleading news. India has 2 layers of safety, not one. First is the strategic reserves, then is the commercial stocks. Okay, the underground vaults that we have hold about 9 days of supply. But for our commercial stocks held by companies like IOC and HPCL, we hold another 65 days of supply as well. So India has essentially a 74-day shield. If government was really worried about the 5-day fuel supply, why would we exporting it to Sri Lanka right now? If the government was really worried about the 5-day fuel supply, would they be exporting the fuel to help Sri Lanka right now? Definitely not. So what is the bottom line? The bottom line is that Russia's ban might push global prices up slightly, but India has already been preparing for it. Secondly, by cutting taxes and keeping our refineries running at 100% capacity, we are not only surviving this crisis, but we are becoming the world's petrol station as well. The era of cheap energy is over, but for now, the Russian ban is more of a headline than a real threat to us. What do you think? Should India keep buying Russian oil despite the pressure? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I am Yogiraj. Thanks for watching.